I was recently accepted into the United Association Commercial Plumbing Apprenticeship, and I wanted to start documenting my journey through YouTube. The idea behind this is to answer questions for you, to be a resource for you, for those that are interested in becoming an apprentice in the trades. And mainly because I know you're looking for information out there from people who've actually done this and have gone through this process and want to learn from them. And that's what I hope I provide for you. But the topic of this video is going to be around age. I'm 48 years old. And I know that there's a lot of anxiety about number one, entering the trades at an older age, but also just changing careers. And I wanted to kind of address that with this first video of mine in the series. It's understandable. When you think about society, most people think that by the time you're in your 40s, maybe even 30s for that matter, that you should have it all figured out, right? Like you're 18, you graduate high school, you go to college or trade school or start a business or something, and maybe you change your mind a little bit here and there. But I think most of society expects that most of us have it figured out in our 20s, and by the time we're in our mid to late 40s, that we're like thinking about retirement already. Well, I have news. That's just not the way the cookie crumbles all the time. People walk different paths. Life takes different turns for different people. And that's the first thing that you should know is that, being older and thinking about getting into the trades or changing a career is fine. It's normal. Don't feel like that you failed or that you're too old or whatever. If anything, think of the positive things. By this point in your life, you've probably developed a really good work ethic, right? Use that to your advantage when you're changing careers. Now, to pivot back to the trades and being of an older age, I have a few things to say here. Number one, the question shouldn't be, am I too old to enter the trades? The question should be, am I able to enter the trades? And here's what I mean by that. The people that are making the decision for you to enter the apprenticeship program or get hired on as a laborer or an apprentice or a helper, they don't care how old you are. They want to know, are you going to show up on time? Are you going to ask good questions? Are you going to learn? And are you going to show up every day? If you can check those boxes off, you're doing better than maybe a lot of 20-year-olds are doing. So again, this has nothing to do with your age. The other questions you need to ask yourself are, am I physically able to do it? Now, you're not entering a strongman contest or going to war. You're going to a physically demanding job. So are you physically able to do it? And you might not be right now, or you might be in okay shape, but you can fix that. You can go to the gym, you can start jogging, you can walk, you can diet, you can make those physical changes to yourself and get yourself in shape. So that's on you. And the last thing is, I think it's all about, finances. When you think about being in your 40s, for example, and this applies to people in their late 20s, 30s, or even their 50s or 60s for that matter, at this point in life, you more than likely have a mortgage. There's a good chance you're married and have children, right? And so with all of that comes financial burden. So I think a lot of the reason why you don't see a lot of older people entering the trades as apprentices is because they just can't do it financially, right? You're not going to get paid a lot as an apprentice, and most apprenticeships are 4 to 5 years. So, that's another question you have to ask yourself. Can I do this financially? So what I would say is, as far as the physical piece and the financial piece, you have some control over that. You can get in shape. You can change your finances. You can make this work. That's what I did, okay? I placed myself in a situation where I was in decent shape, but I knew I wasn't in trade shape. So I started working out months before I applied, like lifting heavy, getting cardio in, really making a change. And I got my finances in order. They weren't horrible, but I paid off some debts. I looked at my income compared to my expenses, and I got all that in order, and I planned for it. I knew what I'd be making as an apprentice, and I budgeted for that, and I'm able to do it. So, and the other piece is, that you have probably covered is work ethic. So think about this. If you're an older person and you've probably proven that you show up to work on time, right? That you work hard and ask questions and have excelled at something in the past, right? The next thing is physical and then financial. You can put all these pieces together and be just fine. And that's the real question you're asking yourself here. It's not, am I too old? It's, am I able to do it? And if you're able to do it, I think your chances are pretty darn good of doing it if you apply yourself. That's the message I wanted to send today. I know this video is pretty short. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. I have a lot of other things planned, such as how to get into the union, what that work looks like. Even going to share my workout plan at some point if you want to get yourself in shape if you're older. But again, thanks for watching this, guys. Please leave some comments. Explain, tell me how old you were when you got into the trades. Tell me how old you were when you made a career change. What were some of the difficulties and challenges? How did you overcome them? I want to hear what you have to say. Again, thank you very much.